Good evening, all. This is Key of W with Islands of Insight again. So we're in the pyramid right now. We have done 10 of the mysteries, which allows us to go to both the original level and the lower level. It's all super great. But I'm going to take a break from the pyramid, since we can't do it all anyway until we get 15 mysteries. And we're going to start looking at our enclaves again, because I've done all of the enclaves in the first 4 universes here. I'd like to go to Serene Deluge and start finishing off the enclaves we haven't done here. There's this one and that, and I remember both of these because they're both very hard, but I think we're going to start here with the highest viewpoint. I think this is the one that is just logic grids. So let's head that way. And yeah, it's going to be up there, so let's find a rift, I think. There's one this way. I'm going to try not to get distracted by other things right now. Well, that's a start. How about continuing? So this is taking me far away from where I want to be. This is more like it. I'll get to you later. There we go. That's the direction I want to go. Hey, there's the monolith. There we are. The highest viewpoint. Requires a lot of mirror abilities, but we already have that. So. Yeah, I think this is the one. The reason I remember these is that they're 2 of the harder enclaves in the game. So yeah, let's do this one. The stars stare back. Yeah, it's all high level logic grids. So who knows, maybe I somehow solve them quickly, maybe it takes me a million years to do it. But we'll get started. So we start with this 1 star puzzle. We want to connect all the dark cells. That's all we know. Well, we know we can't do this, so we're definitely going to start with one of these guys. Want to connect them all, but it doesn't mean that it's going to come through here. This could be a sort of a dead end thing. Let's see, we can't connect that to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We definitely have to move up that direction. We can move all the way up there, but we're not sure yet, which means this can't go this way. This still could be a light cell, we don't know. One of those 2 is light, but not the other one. Let's see what these other... Okay, this 7 gives us something. We can't bring it all the way down here, so the most we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a requirement. We can go all the way out here, so I don't know much else besides that. Well, this is the furthest this can go out. That's 5. If we do have this piece, we have to have this one at least, right? Here's 5, 6, 7. We have to go out 1 space there. But if we don't use this piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have to go out at least 1 space this way. So either the 4 is going to be here, or it can do this, or that. We don't know yet. Now, if we were to do this, if we were to extend the 6 all the way up... hold on, let's think about this for a second. We gotta connect all dark cells. At least one of these 2 is a dark cell, because we could do this as a light cell, but then that'd be a dark cell, or we make this a dark cell. Because the 2 can't go very far, so we have to bring dark cells out this way. Which means the 7 now is pretty much accounted for as far as this is concerned, because it can't go any further than that, but it can't go any further than this. So that is our 7, and our 5. So the 4 now does have to extend this way. It's done. The 2 is finished. Let's see. 5 has to extend down at least 2 spaces this way, and at least 1 space this way. The 6 has to expend at least 1 space that way. So now this has to come here. This is possible? This is not, so I guess this is in fact what we do. And is this 6 complete? It is. that's the end of that puzzle. That wasn't too bad. Oh, nope. Thought I saw something else there. And we have this. Connect all light cells. Well, we're going to start off with this because the 2 is complete. The 5 has to extend at least 2 more spaces this direction, and same with this 5. Alright, where do we go from here? All light cells are connected, so not the dark cells. Don't have to worry about those guys. Let's see, the 6. Don't have any guaranteed cells for the 6 right now. The 4 can go... No, it can't go all the way out here. So the furthest it can go out this way is 1, which means it must go out this way at least 1 space. Now, the 3, if this is like so, these are both dark cells. Which means that we would have to bring this 4 out and around. That's still possible to do. Do you see what I mean? So if I do this, the 3s are complete. We'd have to do this. We'd have to do this to connect all light cells. We'd have to do this. This is all legal. Now, if I do this... yeah. If I do 1 here, this 3 is complete, which would basically mean this 3 would have to be here. So in fact, the guess that I just made is the only way we can do this puzzle, and I have to bring this around to connect the light cells. Okay. So it looks then like I could bring through like this, I believe, but otherwise I think the light cells are going to come through the center this way. They can't come up around here. This is the furthest these can extend. It can't come through here, so it either comes through like this or it does a sort of snake thing through there. Not entirely sure which. We can bring this here or here, but I don't know which yet. If we did this, we'd be in trouble. So it is in fact going to be like this. So now the 3 is done. The 6 has to extend sideways. This can't happen, so we know this has to be filled in. And this has to be filled in. So this would finish off the 6. But I also could bring it down. No, I can't, because if I bring it down, we're going to trap it like so. So the 6 does have to come in this way. This is complete. And that's the puzzle. Some good puzzles so far. They're not that hard, but this is the easiest stuff in the level. Let's take a look at this guy here. Connect all dark cells and viewpoints. Let's see if I can't find anything immediately. So the 5 has to extend 1 more space than the 4. This is immediately troubling, but it's possible because the 5 can go like that. 4 can't come all the way here, so this is as far as that goes. This covers 2 spaces. Well, the 7's going to extend 1 more space than the 6, which means that it will extend up this way. It has to, because this is the same amount and these are the same amount. So this piece has to be a light cell. We know that much. 8 can't connect to the 4, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we know this piece is light now, so that doesn't help me. The 6 can't extend that far, so if it extends here, yeah. It could also extend this way. Dark cells are connected. That's going to help me at some point, but I don't know when. I feel like this could happen, but it's risky. Because if I do this, the 4 is complete. I have to basically do this. And is this going to cause a problem? So far, no. So far, that's fine. Hold on. So far, this is what this would force these to be. That would force this to come out this way. Which, The fact that this is working so far suggests to me it's fine. I don't think this is the way I'm supposed to solve it, though. This has to be a light cell, because without this being a light cell, there's no way to make 6. Let's see. one of these two is a dark cell for sure. We have 4 out of the 6, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to have... This is 5, so we do have to have this one, which is going to block that. Is that right? No, that's not right. I can do this. This one can go. This one has to be a light cell. Now, I could block these off, but I don't know. Since dark cells are connected, that will come out. Let's see, this 5. This is possible. This gives us 4 out of the 5 we need. Since this 8 can only go on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I don't know. 6, 7. This has to be a light cell. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this row. 6, 7 can't go any further than that. So it does have to move down once. The 4. This could be a dark cell because the 4 still has plenty of space. This could also be a light cell. Let's see. These are both possible. These are both possible. Well, actually, if this was the dark cell, then the dark cells would have to come through here and block off the 5. So this does have to be a dark cell. Sorry, if this is a light cell, dark cells. So this has to be the dark cell. That's the only thing I can do, is bring it around this way. Which is going to lock in some of these a little more. So this 8, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is in fact complete. The 6 and the 7. The 7 needs another space going up. Oh, this is where we run into trouble. Okay, so now I've figured out that the guess I made way back when doesn't work. Let's take it back. So this is a dark cell. Okay, this is weird. This can't be right then. This can't be a dark cell. That can't be right. Because if this is the dark cell, how do I make 5 and 4? No matter what I do, I'm going to overload one or the other. This is the only thing I can do. This really is. So I must have made a mistake somewhere else in the guess. Because this is the only thing I can do. So imagine I don't, if you don't understand how this works. How do I make 4? How do I make 5? 5, I can't make it this way because it'll overload the 4, which means I have to make it going up, but it will also overload the 4 there. It has to be. Which means if the 4 is complete, the 5 now needs to come down here. The 3 is complete. That has to be a dark cell. So we're right back where we were. This can't be like so. Well, it could, but what it would mean is that 6... yeah, so this has to be a dark cell. Which means... Imagine we have 4, 5, 6, 7... Dark cells can't come through here. This has to be a light cell. Which means the dark cells do come through here. I must have made a mistake somewhere in here without realizing it. We have 4 out of 10, well, out of the 7 we need. This would be the 5th space, so we do have to go out this way. See, now we don't have enough. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to here. That's light. We know. We know it is a light cell. So, we know this is a light. If this is a dark cell, we can't possibly mix. We can't bring these through here. So this is the furthest this goes. That's a light cell no matter what. This can't be a dark cell. This has to be a light cell. Which means that this can't be light because then, oops, we'd have to do this. And there's no way to get the 6 up. So that has to be dark. I've got to be making mistakes somewhere, but it feels like there's no way to get this in any other means. This has to come down like so. The dark cells have to connect. Oh, hold on. They don't have to connect through here, though. They can connect around the top. That's where my mistake is. I can connect the dark cells up here. This can still be a light cell. Let's take a look at the 8 again. So going 4, 5 across like this, 6, 7, 8. Just have to go down this way. 5 across, 6, 7, 8. It can go all the way down here. That means, though, that I have to leave space for dark cells up here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, this has to be like so. The furthest this can go out is one more space this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has to be this space here. I don't know which other ones. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't bring this up here. Because if I do this, then this 7 we won't be able to make the 7. See how they both have 5? I would not be able to add 1 extra to the 7, so that does have to be a dark cell. So we need to add 2 more to the sides. This has to be a dark cell so that dark cells are all connected. That will be a dark cell. That'll be a dark cell. So we do have this. Okay, yeah, it's just that this one is not a dark cell. This is what killed us before, is the assumption the dark cells have to go through there. So now this has to be a light cell, so that's the end of that solution. Wow, that's a pretty good puzzle. That one tricks you if you're not careful. That's good stuff. Fractals have self-similarity and repetition at all scales. This arrangement of structure is an all within another all. It does leave me with a question. Could we too be one of the leaves on the fractal tree? I am trying to wrap my mind around that thought. The crevices of my mind are developing their own crevices. Okay. How about this? Well, this looks like we just fill in all the way. So dark regions have area 2. This would overload the 5, therefore this is a dark region. This would overload the 5, therefore this is a dark region. Let's see. These would fill in the 5s. So one of these two... Well, we already know that one of these two, therefore this is a dark cell here. Let's see. Either one of these fills out the 5, so this is a dark cell. Let's see. We can't have both of those being a 6. So one of these has to be a dark cell, which means that is a dark cell. And since the other one is a light cell, we have to add one more to either side or up here potentially. 3. This would fill in everything, but I could also go up this way. Same deal here. If I do both of these, it overloads. If one of them is dark, the other one is dark. So now this is complete. This has to be light because all dark regions have area 2. This overloads, so we've completed that one. This cannot be a dark cell because we'd overload. Therefore, the 6 is now complete. Let's see. This is still possible? Yeah. I don't know for sure, though. This can't be a dark cell. Let's see. Next step here. Let's take a look at the 6 again. It can't go this way. That'll overload. So now it is complete. This will overload it. So, oops. This is going to be fine. But this one has to be for sure. So it's... No, it can't be this one. It has to be like this. And like that. There we go. That's a cool puzzle. It's not a super hard one, but it's just got an interesting sort of pattern to it. Okay, don't make this pattern, so we're making a single unbroken line or a loop. Or no, it could be a snake. It could have 2 ends. Connect all dark cells. Okay, let's look at how we're going to do this. If we do this move here, we're in really big trouble. And here's why. We can move this way, but then we couldn't do this. We'd be out of spaces. We could continue, but we could only continue this far. And we could go only this far. Either way, we run out of space. That is a light cell. We cannot do this. This is only 8, so we do have to curve, and it's going to be this curve here. Which means those are light cells. This could be dark. No, this can only go that far, so this has to move up at least that far. And then this can only move up this far, so it has to move at least there. That is required. I think this is correct. We'll see. Now the 7, we have a similar issue here. If we do this, this is still possible. It's possible that we have, these are our dead ends. Oops. If we do this, we can only move one direction that way, so it wouldn't go there. This is a possible thing to do, but not this. If we go this way, we can make a loop like so, and this, oops, and this way. So no matter what we do, we can only move one in any of these directions. So this is how this goes. We cannot do this. So it has to be a straight line, like so. That makes our 6. We could bring this around like this. We don't know yet. But we do know that it cannot be this piece or that piece. The 4 has to stop here. Now, we don't know which direction it goes, but we could, for instance, oh, since we know, now we know this goes like so. It has to stop here. And the 3 cannot go this direction. And it cannot go around this way at all. So this might be our dead end here. 2, 6, 7. This might be it. Oops, hold on, bring this around. There we go. That's a cool puzzle. I like that one. So we did our first objective, solving the 5 logic grids. Let's see if we can solve some more. Let's just look at another mystery, which is nice. So it's been about 20 minutes so far. Let's keep going. This is one of those enclaves that I might do in multiple batches rather than all at once. Simply because of how difficult the puzzles are, they will take me some time. But I'll try to at least get 10 logic grids in this go, and we'll see what we can do after that. Connect dark cells, connect light cells. Alright then. But we do have to watch for this kind of stuff. So let's take a look at this. If we bring this up, this would be complete, which is legal. That is a legal thing we can do. I'm not sure if it's correct. It probably is not. This can go only so far, so it does have to move. Oh, this would have to move up 1. This is also legal. Okay, I was hoping I'd get an answer from that. The 7 cannot be this entire row. Since it can move only that far, it does have to move up at least once. The 6 could move all the way down here. Actually, since the 7 can only move up this far, it also has to move this way at least once. So we know that about our 7. Now, let's see what we can get from this 6. This 6 could move all the way this way or all the way that way. But it also could be something like this. We don't know. The thing is, if this 6 doesn't move up, if it moved like this, it would force this to be the 3, right? Now, this gives us some help, maybe? What this will force is the 7, 4, 5, 6, would have to be this. That's what this forces. Yep, so we can't do that. So we know that this 6 is not going to connect. Which means the furthest this can go up is 4 spaces, which means it will come out 2. This can't connect here, so the furthest it can come out is 4 spaces plus the 5th space here, so this is a space for sure. This could still come out all the way. This could still come out all the way. Now if we did this, it's still fine because the 6 can break us out of there. Still need to make sure I connect all the cells. Now, the 3 could do this, or it could do any of these. I'm not sure yet. Well, this could come out all the way? Huh, I don't know. This can still come out all the way. Let's look for inconsistencies if I bring this out all the way. I'm sure there's people that can do all this in their head, but A, I cannot, and B, it's far more helpful when recording this to like demonstrate by doing the bad move and see what happens. I just think this will be wrong. I'm not sure. This will require this to be complete like so, and will overload immediately. So we can't do all the way out. The furthest we can go out is here. This is 4, this is 5, this is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has to go out at least that far. Since this cannot extend that far, we have 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a required move. And in fact, we cannot bring this out anyway because we would block off the 3. So one of these 2 is required. 2, 3, 4. Actually, since one of these is required, we can't bring this all the way down here. Which means the furthest this goes down is 2 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also required. Oops, this gives us most of our 4. It's possible that we have this going on, but it is going to make things... No, it's not. Hold on. Checkerboard lemma. We cannot do this if both light and dark cells have to connect, which means one of these is going to be a light cell. That's going to block this off, which is going to finish the 3. Let's see. This cannot connect to here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this has to connect to the 6, because if it doesn't connect to the 6, we have to connect there. Therefore, the 7 is complete. This has to connect somehow to a black cell, so this would be a problem, which means this has to go out at least one more space. Let's see. After this 6 is complete. 2, 3, 4, 5. We still don't know any more about this one. This 3 I don't know more about. This 4 could come out. No, it couldn't come out here because then it would have a space in there. So this is the completion of the 4. This is the completion of the 6. Now this 6 is done, so is the 3. Okay, we're starting to have some issue here. We have to get a light cell out. So it's either this one or that one. No. If it's this cell, we have this issue here. So this is a light cell coming through this way. And then one of these 2 is light, but only that. This is going to have to be a dark cell no matter what. Let's see what else we can infer. These have to be dark cells no matter what. One of these 2 is a light cell. Just one, though. Does it matter which one? What would have happened if I'd done the other way around? Would I have blocked something off? I don't know. But that was it. That was a cool one. I actually really like these puzzles. Some of them I'm not having too much trouble with, and others are really kicking my butt. Are there any 3-star puzzles? There we go. Let's work our way up in difficulty. No dominoes. Connect all light cells. Viewpoint and symmetry. Well, we can't do this. There has to be a connection somewhere. If we were to connect this piece, this is going to be a rough one. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. This is going to be a rough puzzle. So if we do this one, we have to do this piece here. That would have to be the case. We could still do this piece. We could still move out this way if we move there. But if we do this, if we move this piece, we have to do that one. If we do this one, we have to do this piece. Huh. Connect all light cells means these are going to connect to each other somehow. Which means we're going to have a symmetry. Somewhere there's going to be a symmetry to these. but which symmetry? Because if we don't have this symmetry, we can't block them all off. These, we either have this or this, which means this is a light cell no matter what. So we do in fact have horizontal symmetry, which means we have these pieces. Okay. Now if we had vertical symmetry, we would also have to have pieces up there and here, but we don't know. Do we have... Like, if we have this, we have to make it entirely rotational. In fact, we'd have all three types with this. I can't block them all off. At the very least, I have to have at least one of these symmetries. But I don't know which one. But here's the thing. If I have this one, I also have to have that one. That's just what's going to happen. So if I do this, I have to have this piece. But I could do it this way. Right? Hold on. So if I have this one, I have to have that one because of the horizontal symmetry. So in other words, I have to have this and this. These would all have to be done. But this could still be that. I don't know for certain. That's the trouble, is I don't know for certain, and do I want to make a guess? I also can't do 2 in a row of dark cells. So if I do know what has to be a dark cell, then I have to make sure it's surrounded by light cells. I can always just do a well, let's just guess we have one of these and then see what happens. Well, if I do this, now we're going to have an issue here that we're seeing 3. Anything I add to this in either direction, the vertically to C is going to add an even number. We will never reach a 6. And if I move in this direction, I will have to move in both directions equally. Therefore, this cannot be a light cell, because if it was a light cell, I would end up unable to make a 6. This has to go down at least 1. Do you see what I mean? I'm going to try to see if I can explain that a little better. If this is a light cell, we can see an odd number of spaces, 3 out of the 21. I need to see an even number, which means that in one of these directions, I have to only move 1 space. And in this direction, because I have the vertical symmetry, I have to move an even number, which means I have to move an odd number this way. But moving either direction this way means I have to move both directions because of this symmetry. This won't be there, so we are now guaranteed these are our symmetries. And because this is an odd number of cells seen, 3, and I need an even number, this has to move down at least once. It can move here, or it can do this. We're not totally sure. But this has to be like that now. And this, because of something. I guess having both of these plus this just makes it rotational symmetry. So we're going to have a radial some kind of thing. Okay. I could do this, which would make this come out like so. Or I could do this, which would make this. Either of those is cool with me. The trouble is, there's no overlap between those two. Well, since we have all white cells connected, we're going to have this symmetry here. So if we move this direction to the 8, we also have to move, so it's 4 up and 5 right. We have to move 4 right and 5 up. This one, let's also look 4 up, 3 left. Hold on, this way, 4 up, 5 is the same as this here. And then 4 up, 3 left is the same as 4 right, 3 down. Right? That makes sense? Yeah, I think that's what that's going to be. And we're going to have the same issue with these other pieces. So this one's 3 left and 4 down. So it's going to be 3 this way. Right? That's where this one meets. I think I'm doing the symmetry right, and I hope you can see what I'm going for here. That these pieces are symmetrical to this. These pieces are symmetrical to that. And then these pieces here and there are symmetrical to this. I gotta tilt my head to see if that works out. And then this piece is, I imagine, going 4, 5. So we go 4, 5. So I think that's what we get from this piece here. Now let's do it with this piece. So we're going to go to the 8. So we're going to move 4 up and then 3 to the right, which means we have to move 4 up, 3 this way. Because then these pieces are symmetrical to each other. But then there's also this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up and 2 to the right, so it's 5, 2, like this. Oh dear. I think I'm doing the logic right. And then with this piece, let's say this piece here is 4 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 4 up, and then curve inward. 3, 4, 5. That's this one, I think. Hold on. That was this piece? Yeah. This piece I already did is this one here. This piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. That's what's connected to that. This piece is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to just be making these symbols, but I'm going to be double checking. Okay, we're going to move back 3 here. Well, down, but it's like if you're imagining the symmetry, down 3 and back 2, down 3, back 2. This one is down 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, back 3, down 4, back 3. So this might be, I think, well, just because of this symbol, we have to have them like this. Okay, so this is a start, I think. So the question is, how do we make these now connect? Because everything we do, this is going to overload, right? So at some point we have to block it off. The furthest I can move this direction is this far, because we have to repeat the symmetry. So if I move this far, I have 4. This gives me 6, this gives me 7. So that is a guaranteed move here, which is going to do this. Now let's look at the symmetries here. We go to the left-ish, well, we go up, sorry, I tilted my head. So it's, if I don't tilt my head, this is up, 1, 2, 3, left, 1, 2, 3. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Are we serious? Yeah, let's go diagonal here. This is the diagonal symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Which means we have to repeat this like so. Then this piece to here is going up 3 and to the right 5 spaces, which is like going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to repeat these. Now if I do the symmetry here, go up 3 and right 3 is the same as going 3, 3. So that is symmetrical with these. We're fine. And then this piece here is up 3, left 5, which is up 3, left 5. Just symmetrical here. So those have been accounted for. But now if I head left and down, I'm going to have to head this way and make these pieces. So this is possible. It would just require dark cells here, there, and there. I don't know for sure yet. Okay, now this 8, this 8 could go here, right? Because that's only 7 cells. But I think it would, because it would do this. No, that's still fine. That's still fine. I'm not 100% sure. If I had this piece, it would make it at all 4 spots, which would do this, and this, and this, and that, which would force this. So far this is working, so I'm just going with it. I think this is a bad idea to just make guesses like this. I'm in trouble. So I can't be doing that. I can't be filling this one in because it'll overload the 6 no matter what I do. Because either I do this and no more, but if I have these filled in white, then I have to go down that far. So I cannot block and have these. That just can't happen. So these cells probably are black. This is fine. Huh. Okay, well then this has to come out this way, which is going to make this happen. What else will that do for me? It's gonna do this. So the 8, this would complete, but it could also come out. It can only come out this far, so it does have to come down. It does have to come down all the way like this, right? That can't be right. If I did this, so that's a light cell, which means this is a light cell. Okay, let's go back. I've made a mistake somewhere pretty fundamentally. So if I've basically got this radial symmetry thing going, let's symmetry to this piece. No, that piece is there. This piece goes 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That piece goes to there. But that means this would go here. This piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 would go there. I'm just looking at, like, if I do this, then that's going to be there, and then this piece would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That piece is exactly diagonal. Yeah, it's exactly diagonal with it. That's what this would do. If I do this, in order to make, well, to make the 4, I do have to do these pieces. This would have to happen. 5. That would have to do this. And then oops, 1, 2, 1, 4. We would have to do these and this. Right? So this is back where I was. But the problem was, how do I make the 8? Because I can only go this far out, which means I have to go 2 spaces down this way. But this piece, 1, 2, 3, oh, hold on, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This piece would have to be reflected there. 2, 1, 2, 3. 3. That's what this would reflect to. That's what this would reflect to. That's what that would reflect to. Could these be blocked off? Yeah, I guess because we don't have this symmetry, we could do it. right? It doesn't have to be fully radial. Otherwise, this would be causing a problem because of that. Because if I could also do that piece. If I did this, yeah. Okay, I'm very confused here. I could do this. But now I can do this piece or I can do both of these, but I can't do a mix of the two. So looking again at this, 1, 2, 3, that's connected to there. This piece is connected to there. And then we're horizontally symmetrical. So this piece is connected to that. This piece is connected to that. So this piece, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is there. And this piece, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, is connected to there. So I guess I could have dark cells there. Or here. Now, if I did this, we would basically be forcing us to make this move. This should be okay. Because at this point, all I need to do is find a couple of dark cells. I just need to block off the 6 and the 4 in the right spot. Like, I could try this. Ah, so now I need to make sure. So what is not symmetrical here? That. Okay. I don't know. Was I making that harder than it needed to be? I might have been making that harder than it needed to be, but man, it was really hurting my brain to figure that out. Well, here's another 3-star puzzle. Don't make white squares. Viewpoint numbers. Okay. This looks a lot like a puzzle I did a few episodes back, but who knows. Let's start with this 7. This is the furthest down the 7 can go because of the 2, and this is the furthest up, which requires it to move out at least one space, which is not very, very helpful. We're going to have 4 dark cells coming down here, 4 this way and 4 this way. There's not a lot of restrictions to dark cells. This cannot connect all the way here. So this could connect all the way like so without moving down at all. We're not sure. There has to be at least 1 dark cell in here, which means at most 3 in this area. Has to be at least 1 dark cell here because we're avoiding the squares. We don't have to worry about connecting all white or all dark cells. Any other spot that's like, oh, I have a gimme here. The 6. Well, the 6 can only move this far down. Right? That's a possibility. Of course, this doesn't tell me where I can move that. And I can also do this. So, like, this is a possibility, this is a possibility, and this is a possibility. So, because of that, there's no common spot in the 6 that has to be seen. Let's see. This could come out all the way, right? Oh, wait, we have 6 coming down here. So only one of these can be a light cell, right? Yeah. Because of that, this is the most the 5 can go in these directions. It has to move out this far. This 5 could go here, but it would require all of those to be filled, which is fine. It's totally fine to do that. But I also could do this. No, I cannot. This cannot connect all the way down there. So this, in fact, does solve these. This has to move out this far. This has to move up at least once. So this can only go down that far, which means it comes out at least one more space. Now we know something about the 6. The most, so it has to come down at least this far. it can only come down one more spot this way, which would force this piece as well. This would make a square. We don't want that. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a guaranteed spot at any of the 5 things here. We can only have one more white cell in this area. If it's this one, we have to do this. This is possible. I can put a dark cell here just fine. That's the issue. If it's this one, no guarantees yet. This has to have 4 dark cells. We're not sure yet. This has to have 2 more dark cells. And I don't really see... Well, this 5 can't connect to the 6, so it does have to come down at least one space. So the 4 can't come up all the way, so it does have to move down at least one more space. Means there's 2 more dark cells in here. This could be a dark cell just fine. But one of these 2 for sure. So with most, you can have this. So it does have to move down one space, right? See what I mean? Like this has a problem. In fact, both of these can't be, so one of them is a dark cell. So let's say this one was the dark cell and this one was a light cell. You could do this, but you still need to move down a space. So this is 3 out of the 5, which means this would require both of these to be dark cells. This would require both of these to be dark cells. And this would require... Well, I don't know. But this has to be dark cell because of the square rule. Ah, so now we're getting somewhere with the 7. This is the furthest the 7 can go upward, so it does have to move down 2 spaces. Let's see. This would make a square. We don't want to do that. We can still make the 5 work with just this. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. The 6 hasn't really changed. It can't go that far. It can go just that far. This could still be the one to move in. I don't know if this is going to help me yet. This one... Can both of these be dark cells? Yes. Can this be a dark cell? No. The furthest this can go down is here. Therefore, that's a light cell, and those are both our dark cells. So that has to go down there, which means we got to block off all of the squares. Let's see. At least one of these is a dark cell, I know. So the most I can have 2 in this space. I can come all the way up here, or do this. I don't know. This would fill out the 5 without having to go anywhere this way. Well, if I did this, I would have to fill this one out there. This is fine. Let's see. I have to take, of these 3 spaces, I have to take 2 of them. So what if I made this a dark cell? Block this off. We would know that this would be complete, which would complete this, and that. Ah. So, this has to be a light cell. That is now guaranteed. Let's see elsewhere. This now has to be the 4 cells there. This is complete. That overloads. Okay, and we're done. That one's actually a pretty cool puzzle. So I've spent about an hour here. I have 8 out of 10 logic grids. Let me just go for the last logic grids. There's actually more than 10, but let me just go for 10 of them because this is already a long episode. I don't want to do another long episode. So let's just try to get 10 of them, and then we'll come back and do the rest of this episode at another time. Connect all light cells. Those aren't going to connect. So one of these two, but that's as far as it'll go. And then it looks like you can do this kind of chaining trick, but we're not sure where it's going to be. It can't be one of these, because it could be. But if we did this, we would block it in. So this has to be dark. I think this also has to be a dark cell, because we'd have to block so many other things. So those are dark cells. This is fine. It is not fine. This is also a dark cell. So this is going to come out one of those two directions. This won't work because we would have to do this. So if it does come up this way, we would have to come up that way. And in fact, if this comes up this way, well, let's just say if this is a light cell, here we go. Now, no matter what we pick here, we're blocked in. So this is a dark cell, so we're going to come out this way. Which direction from here? This is possible, because we can just... Oh no, this is not possible. So that's the light cell. Because we can move in any direction from here. We can in fact go around this way, or whatever we want to do. I don't know the difference between these two yet. This is fine. If we block this off, this is a light cell. Is it possible? So no matter what, that's a light cell. We know that much. Oops. One of these two. This is a bad idea, I think. That's fine, so I don't know. I don't know 100%. There's no rules on the dark cells. I don't have to worry about them at all. Let's see here. If this is the light cell, that's fine. Actually, hold on. I think what it is that one of those two is, because if that's the light cell, we have to do this. And then whatever we pick here is going to block us in. So these have to be dark cells as well. I think that's what we have to designate so we can get the 3 to escape. Like it's going to go like this or like that. Same with this. It's going to come out this way or that way. Well, if it came out this way, now we're really stuck in this area. So I think it's going to come out that way. And then this could come around like so, or it could come around like that. It doesn't matter yet. This, oh sorry, this can come out this way, which would force... That is fine. If it came out this way, this is also fine. So I'm not 100% sure on that. But whatever it is, it will not come through here. It will come through here, which means it has to come through like this. It can't be this, so this is in fact how that piece is going to go. This would overload. This would overload, so it will be this way. That would overload, that would overload, and that's the end. Nice, good puzzle. Let's find one more and then call it here because I want to avoid another 2-hour thing, because I know with those 5-star puzzles up there, I could be here all day. So let's grab this one and see where we are. Don't make that pattern, so we're making a snake or a loop. So those are our dead ends. All right, what can we infer here? 3 of these are going to be dark cells, so we could have it like this. If I made this happen, I would have to do this. And that is fine. This can't go out that far. This is the furthest it can go down, so it will go down at least this far. Which means there's going to be a dark cell either here or here. Now here we can do this, and here, if it's like so, would be like this. But either way, these 2 are dark cells. It's either that or that. These 2 are dark cells. Which means this can only move down 1 space at most. This can move over. This can move down quite a bit. How about over here? Can I make the same inference? This can't come all the way up there, but it could come out this way. This could come out that way as well. We're not sure. Actually, this can't be this far out because we'd have a dead end there. So this is the furthest it can come out in order to get this in and then out. So because of that, it has to move up at least once, because we can do that. It also can't move all the way up, so it can only go that far. Doesn't help me yet. There's going to be either here or here. Because of that, like I can do this, I think I have to come through here. There's no other way, right? Because I already have my dead end, so this can't be a dead end. The only way to rescue it is like this. Or it could be this. Either way, these 3 have to be dark cells. And they're going to connect to here. So we can do it like this. We can do it like this. We can't do it like this. We either do it like this or we do it like this. So are there any... I think that means this piece here is guaranteed as well. Yes, that piece is also guaranteed. Where else can we infer over here? We can't bring this all the way to the right because we'd have trouble, but it does mean we need to have at minimum there. This is the furthest we could go to make this move. We still could have that going on. This is doable. Like, coming around. We're fine. This here... This is a little trickier. This can't be a dead end, so it's going to connect to something. And there has to be something up here. So I think that for sure this is a dark cell. This one... I think if both of these are dark cells, we're going to have some trouble. Because if these are both dark cells under any circumstances, I don't want to make dead ends. This either connects like this, well, that will break it. So it would connect this way, which means I can't properly block the 4. Yeah, how do I block the 4 from going all the way out here? If I put a piece here, we're in trouble over there. If I put it up here, we're going to create this thing. So I think it's going to be one of those 2, which is going to make this a dark cell as well. This is fine. I think... No, I don't think this works either. This will be a problem. So it would be like this. We'd have to break, like... But then how do I stop the 4? So I really do think it is this. I think this is what we have to do. And then bring it up like so. in that sort of vein. Actually, that's the only way. Is that right? That might be the only way to do it. Because we got to bring it up. That has to connect, and then this has to connect. And then this will come around this side up to here. Which means it's this. That has to go down at least one there, and it has to go down even more. Okay, nope. Made a mistake somewhere in there. Made a mistake somewhere in here. Okay, so we know this. So 3 of these are going to be, we know that. The 4 cannot go this far out. This is the most it could go out. If it went out this way, we would have something like this. And how could we make the 2? Well, we're going to have trouble with this 3, because it would extend too far up. So the 3 has to... Yeah, if I have this here, there's no way to make this 3 work. Because how am I going to block this from happening? I can't put a piece here, because how am I going to connect these? So I think this is the furthest it can go out, and it's like this. Right? Which means this is all I can think of for doing the 2. Unless... This is bad, too. This? Nope, I can't do that because we're going to overload the 2 that way. So I think it has to be like this. If I go all the way up this way, we can't do that. This is the furthest that could go up, which would block this off like so. And it would block that off. And it would block this off. So this is a little exercise in futility here. And then this could connect like this. I don't think this works at all. Because we would have to block... No, this might. This might. Hold on, we might have something here. We don't have something, because I have to do this. No, we might have something. We might have something here. Might have it. Might just have it. There we go. Oh, wow. That was tricky puzzle. So I've been doing this for about an hour. Solve all 15. Okay, so there's 5 more. 1, 2, 3. Where are the other 2? Already got that one. Ah, there's a 4-star here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there's one on this side I missed. Ah, there's a 5-star there. So, just for the sake of time, we're going to end this here because we've solved this stuff. We've solved enough to unlock the mystery that this enclave gets us. And in fact, let's go over and look at what that mystery is. And we'll call that a day. And in another episode, I will return and finish that enclave, because I'm sure the last 5 really hard puzzles will take about as long as it took me to do the 10 quote-unquote easy ones. So what is the mystery we've unlocked here? We've almost unlocked them all. Remember the rules of the puzzle above, then travel far away to a memory of a distant sort. resting atop a precipice where a stone face smiles upon the pink waters. Descend halfway down the waterfall and solve the logic grid with 3 orbs. Use the rules you remember. That is rather complex. Alright, well that was very fun. I enjoyed those puzzles a lot. I'm sure it was a very dry video because it was an hour to do literally 10 puzzles. So, I will see people in the next video. Thanks, blah 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 blah, for watching. Goodbye.